Woo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Swank Tank. It is episode 14. It is Thursday morning, October 9th. We're getting into that start of the middle part of October. It's probably getting cold where you're at. I know some people up in Chicago are starting to enjoy that cool, relatively cold weather. Here in Austin, Texas, where I'm recording and where I live, it is not quite cold yet. It did get a little cooler this morning, though. I stepped outside and I thought, you know what? This does feel like early October. Low 80s, we take that here. Wherever you are, hopefully it's a little colder than that. I'm a cold weather person. Maybe you're not, but, if it's starting to get 60s, upper 60s, low 70s where you're at, enjoy it. It is such an amazing time for the weather. And what an amazing time we've got planned out for you today. Whether you're watching or you're listening, I appreciate you being here as always. Welcome into the Swank Tank. Welcome into episode 14. We have an amazing episode for you this morning and going into the weekend. What are we talking about? We got the huge Jacksonville Jaguars win on Monday Night Football over the Chiefs. We'll dive into that and really get into how the script has flipped a bit with those two teams so far this season. After that, full Week 6 preview. You know how we do it around here on our Thursday morning episodes. Every week we do a full preview, full picks, full analysis. I got that for you for Week 6. After that, I got my Swanks Banks. Those are my 6 best bets for every single week. This week, I like my best bets a lot. This is another really competitive slate, but I'm liking my bets this week. We'll get to that at the end of the show and so much more leveled off in between there. If you're not already, please go follow The Swank Tank on all the socials. That's at The Swank Tank on all the socials. YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. On Twitter, it's @RSwankowski. Make sure you're going and following there. Instagram, we're getting close to 500 followers. I believe we're almost at 450. We're slowly but surely going up the roller coaster. And I don't want the big drop to happen yet. No. That's never. This is a roller coaster that hopefully just keeps ascending upwards. One that's never been seen or done in real life. Really appreciate you tuning in, whether you're watching, whether you're listening, whether it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whenever it is. Really appreciate you being here. And without further ado, we got a big Week 6 ahead of us to talk about. Week 5 is now in the rearview mirror. Besides the Monday Night Football game that we did not talk about on the last episode, as of course I was recording that on Monday night during the game. Let's get straight into our quick rewind of Chiefs and Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars get the win and beat the Chiefs in Jacksonville 31-28. I need to lead off by saying I said this last week too, or in the previous episode. In college football, there's program-defining wins, there's culture wins, right? This was that for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This team has done a full 180 from last season. They bring in Liam Cohen, right? That's the biggest piece. You go and draft a piece like Travis Hunter, who played a decent amount on both offense and defense in this game. Had probably more of a defensive effect than offensive. I believe only had 1 catch, if I'm not mistaken. But this team looks completely different. It starts with the defense. It starts with guys like Hines Allen. It starts with guys like, Devin Lloyd, who made a big-time play. This Jaguars team, they usually don't win games like these. Welcome to the 2025 season. I made a big clip about how this might be the most balanced and even season we've seen in quite some time. It remains very much true with this game. Jags beat the Chiefs 31-28. Trevor Lawrence, 3 total touchdowns and 2 turnovers. I believe he had 2 of those on the ground, including the game winner. Gets stepped on by one of his O-linemen, falls to the ground, looks like a baby giraffe, slipping around all back there. Gets back up. Chris Jones shows no effort to try to make a tackle. He goes into the end zone. Jaguars win the game. Mahomes, 2 total touchdowns in this game and 1 interception. Guess what Mahomes also did in this game? Yet again. He led the Chiefs in rushing. Patrick Mahomes had 60 rushing yards and led the Chiefs again. This was not the first time he's done this season. Again. He led the Chiefs in rushing yards with 60. Has there been a theme as to why the Chiefs are losing these games? I can point a finger and say, that's the big issue. It's pretty apparent. This is not some secret. It's an offensive line and run game issue. It's pretty simple when you think about it. maybe not as simple to fix, but it's simple to point out what the main problem is. The Chiefs can't run the football. That's the issue. Let's go back to the Jaguars defense over here. Devin Lloyd, 99-yard pick six. It was crazy. He was gradually just getting slower and slower and slower, as anybody would. Trotted his way into the end zone. Unbelievable play. Longest defensive touchdown for the Jaguars in their history, 99 yards. I mean, only other more would be like 99 and a half yards. So still, pretty cool stat there. Game-changing play from Devin Lloyd. The defense has been flying around. They lead the NFL in turnover rate and turnover differential, I believe with 8. It was either 8 or 9. Turnover differential in their favor. The Chiefs, 13 penalties in this game, and the defense couldn't close the door when needed to, which is very unlike them. I'm going to touch on that further here just in one sec. Jaguars defense has 14 turnovers created on the season and have now won 3 straight. They beat the Texans, they beat the Niners, huge win, and then they go in their own building and beat the Chiefs, primetime Monday Night Football. 3 very, very impressive wins, especially in a season where you don't really know who's great. No one's unbeaten. First time since 2014, since no one is unbeaten after week 5. It is so balanced. Who's great? Who knows? I can tell you the 49ers and the Chiefs are both very good teams. The Texans are on the echelon of good. Kudos to the Jaguars. What a turnaround they've had, right? Other organizations must be getting frustrated with having to trust the process when you see Liam Cohen come in with a year, 5 or 6 for Trevor Lawrence, who's been shaky, with an ETN who maybe had trade talks surrounding him last season, comes in and leads this team to 4-1 through 5 weeks. Liam Cohen setting a new standard for rookie head coaches, I can tell you that. This game described, though, overall, 2025 so far, perfectly. The Jags and Chiefs flipped roles here, it seemed like. The Jaguars haven't won 10 games since 2017. And before this season, the Jags' last go-ahead touchdown with under 2 minutes to play was in 2022, Week 12 against the Ravens. 2022, Week 12, before the start of this 2025 season, was the last time the Jags had a go-ahead tutty under 2 minutes to play. And what have they done over the past 3 weeks? 2 of those 3 wins, touchdowns, go-ahead in the last 2 minutes. Texans, and now here against the Chiefs. Culture win for the Jags. The Chiefs usually, when they get this lead, don't lose it, especially under 2 minutes. It's either they're down, they go win it, they get the lead, they hold it. Those are the 2 almost always scenarios from we've seen the past 8 years from the Kansas City Chiefs. Things seem to be changing. They can't run the ball. They couldn't close the door here, which they normally always do. Always, especially against teams that are younger and less experienced than them. Always. Guess I can't say that now. Culture win for the Jaguars, their biggest win of the season, their biggest win really over the past 2 years for the Jaguars. What a win. They win 31-28, and the Chiefs have some very, very big questions to be answered as they have the Detroit Lions going into their own home this coming Sunday. We'll touch on that much later in the episode. Jags win 31-28. All right, it is time now. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for everything and anything Week 6 NFL. What a slate we've got. Each and every week, it seems like the slate gets almost more competitive and just more well-rounded. I mean, this is the season that 2025 has brought us. Every single game, you don't fully know, right? Years past, Brady, Mahomes, they're going to get it done, most likely. This year, I'm trying to pick these games as accurately as I can, and my season record is 49-29. We went 6-8 last week for Week 5, by far our worst week. But 49-29 in a season like we've had so far, I will take. 49-29 solid through 5 weeks under straight up winners. Welcome into Week 6. First game, Thursday Night Football. The 4-1 Eagles traveling to New York. They're not going very far. To take on the New York Giants, who are 1-4. Eagles are -7.5 in this game. And there's only one way to look at this, and that's got to be an Eagles bounce back. Right? I'm not saying it's an Eagles bounce back, right? I'm saying it's an Eagles bounce back. Pause. Right? It's supposed to be that. I want to assume it's going to be that. With this season, how it's been playing out, and with the Eagles offensively, I got to freaking see it to believe it. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to flat out say right now, I have the Eagles winning this football game. They will win this football game. But what Eagles are we going to get, right? Which Eagles team are we going to get here? Because we all know their offensive struggles, right? In all aspects, through the air, on the ground, pass protection, all of that and so much more. I'm not saying that in this game, they're going to figure all that out. I will tell you, I'm getting worked up. When I stutter, I'm getting worked up because this game makes me anxious for the Eagles, in all honesty. And I don't know what I'm going to fully see on offense. I don't know. I will tell you the Eagles will win this game. There is one thing I do know about this football game, and that Saquon Barkley will be given the ball way more than he's touched the ball in previous weeks. He had 6 carries last week. 6 carries, ladies and gentlemen. That is unacceptable. Every which way you look at it. I don't care if you're playing fucking Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis. I don't care who you're playing. If you've got prime J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald on that defensive line they're going up against, I don't care. You give Barkley the ball 15 plus times, regardless of what is going on. So that's what I do know. Barkley's going to get fed in this game. Here's why. Giants run defense. 4th most yards per carry allowed in the NFL this season with 5.3 yards per carry. They're the 6th worst in the league in rush yards allowed this year as well. And they've given up 700, I believe around 700 rush yards total. And they've given up 6 rushing touchdowns. Encapsulating those 3 big things. 1, they're giving up 5.3 yards per carry this season so far on the ground. The Giants are. That is 4th most in the NFL. Along with that, they're 6th worst in the league in total rush yards allowed. I believe around 700. 3rd, they've given up 6 rushing touchdowns in 5 games played. It's a perfect spot for Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles run game to get back on track. Yes, I understand the Giants defensive line is pretty good with Burns, Thibodeau, other guys. I get that. Abdul Carter. I get it. But so far this season, the run defense has not been very strong. Saquon Barkley is what makes this Eagles offense churn. Hurts, when needed in years past, and especially last season, can throw the ball when needed. A.J. Brown can do his thing. Devontae Smith can do his thing. Dallas Goedert can do his thing. This offense hums and runs when Saquon Barkley touches the rock. And I don't want it just in the passing game. I need to see it in the running game. That's what's going to happen in this game. That's why the Eagles are going to win. Again, I'm not saying that it's just going to immediately click for the Philadelphia Eagles offense. I'm not saying that. I am saying Saquon Barkley should and will get the volume he deserves in this game. It's a good matchup for him. It's back in New York where he was obviously drafted and played for several years. It's perfect. It's prime. Eagles win. Barkley does well. Giants, obviously no neighbors. They're not going to have Slayton in this game either. It's going to be a little ugly. They get Tyron Tracy back. They can maybe keep this game close, dance with it, dance with the Eagles here for a bit. And, that defense overall has been, solid. It has not been bad. It's been okay. But no neighbors, no Slayton. Barkley coming back in with the rush defense not playing fantastic for the Giants. I'm not saying this is a blowout. I'm saying the Eagles get the win here, and I'm saying they finally start to utilize Saquon how they've needed to. And it starts with the offensive line, which has struggled at times this year in the run game. I get it. It's a perfect spot for them to rebound in that aspect. Give me the Eagles to get the win. Thursday Night Football on the road. Transitioning straight over here. Broncos. The Denver Broncos traveling to London along with the New York Jets. Broncos are 3-2, coming off the big win against the Eagles, who we just spoke about. First, the 0-5 Jets, who just got the piss beat out of them from the Dallas Cowboys. These London games have been closer than I would have thought so far overall, and I think that changes here. I'm taking Denver, of course. That's no surprise, but I like Denver by a pretty solid amount here. The Broncos coming off a season-defining win. Their best win of the season, obviously. First team to take down the Eagles, and it was in Philly as well. Sean Payton is who I trust. Who are you trusting more in this game? Aaron Glenn or Sean Payton? It's a pretty simple answer. And yeah, the Jets are completely dead. They're lifeless. And there's always an upset factor. When a team is playing a team that has no wins, that's always a factor, right? The Jets are the last team in the NFL that are all beaten 0-5. Every other team in the NFL has at least one win. But Sean Payton doesn't lose to rookie coaches. That's the big thing here. He just does. I believe his win percentage is above 700 percentage-wise against rookie coaches all the time. If you're in London, let's just call it a neutral game. You're playing the 0-5 Jets, who have just completely crumbled in all three phases, against a rookie head coach in Aaron Glenn. You take Sean Payton 11 out of 10 times. Broncos defense coming off that big win against Philadelphia. Let's touch on that here real quick. The way their defense has been playing has been fantastic. Hufanga and other, main pieces over there. Benito, obviously, the big one. Surtain. They've been playing really strong and solid football, especially the past 2 weeks. Dominated the Bengals, took care of Philly. Now they go into London, and they're going up against the Jets' offensive line that has given up 16 sacks so far this season. That's tied fourth most in the NFL. It should be wraps, plain and simple. Give me Bo Nix to play pretty well here, solid. Just don't turn the ball over, Bo, and there's no way the Jets win this game. If Bo Nix has 0 turnovers, there is no possible way I see, personally, the Jets winning this game. Give me the Broncos. Give me Sean Payton. Give me that defense to keep on churning. Minimum 3 sacks. Give me the Broncos here, solidly. Transitioning straight on over into the noon slate. The 2-3 Arizona Cardinals. We talked a lot about them on Monday night's episode. Traveling to take on the 4-1 Indianapolis Colts. The Colts, by the way, this is the Colts' 6th game. This is now their 4th home game of the season. So a nice little home stretch here for the Colts to open up their season. And, this game feels like a potential upset spot, right? Doesn't it? Do you feel that? The Cardinals are, from what I'm seeing, are plus 7.5. This has the feeling. Do you feel it in the air? Of an upset spot. I'm not saying the Cardinals are going to win this game. I haven't even said who I think is going to win yet. It just feels like it, doesn't it? It does. Part of me wants to call it. Part of me wants to say Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride and D. Mercado, who's probably benched this week, bounce back and get a win. But I purely I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. The Colts have just been so balanced this season. And honestly, they should be 5-0. If Adonai Mitchell doesn't fumble and let go of the ball too early out of the end zone, they should probably be 5-0. Look at this, a little fumble out of the end zone versus fumble out of the end zone team going up against each other here in week 6. The thing about this game is there is just no angle for me to come at to tell you that the Cardinals are going to win. Defensively, no. Colts check every box. Especially last week against the Raiders, pure dominance. Offensively, Daniel Jones is top 10 in MVP candidacy right now. I know that's not saying a lot. I can maybe say he's top 5, but just the fact that his name is Daniel Jones prevents him from being in the top 5 as we speak. There's no angle to come from for the Cardinals, except for the fact that their back is completely against the wall now after losing 3 straight. That's it. I'm going to fade the gambler fallacy here and take the Colts, as they've shown overall, as they can close out the game so far this season. But I do like the Cardinals to cover here. I forget if I put this in my best bets. I don't even think I did. I do like it, though. They're plus 7.5. I can see them losing this game by 4, losing this game by 3, losing this game by 1 in a classic Cardinals fashion. I like them to keep it close. I like the Cardinals to keep this game close. I think this is a very competitive football game. Cardinals back against the wall. I just can't find that one reason for me to tell you confidently that the Cardinals can win this football game. I just can't do it. I can't do it. So give me them to keep it close. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to move to 5-1. That's what I've got here. Let's keep this noon slate rolling along here. The 3-2 Chargers. Do you remember the LA Chargers from 2 weeks ago? Hold on a second. Are they Super Bowl contenders? LA Chargers, who have now dropped 2 straight, one to the Giants in embarrassing fashion, and one to the Commanders in their own building after being up 10-0 and then giving up 27 unanswered. the 3-2 Chargers, ladies and gentlemen, traveling to the 1-4 lifeless and completely dead Miami Dolphins. And this is a game the Chargers absolutely needed in Week 6 on their schedule. Last week, I picked the Chargers to lose. I called it correctly, but they honestly blew that game in several different ways. And then they gave up a garbage time tutty to make the game feel not too close. But you had the McConkey punt return for a touchdown callback, the Herbert pick late in the game in the red zone, things like that for the Chargers. Then they gave up the last second touchdown. That's all she wrote. 27 unanswered. I believe it was 27 unanswered, right? Wasn't it 27-10? Whatever it was, the Chargers blew that game, in my personal opinion. And they gave Jaden Daniels too much time to get comfortable coming back from the injury. I'm not saying the Chargers win this game by 20. There's the leak there. I'm picking the Chargers to win this game. But this is their get-right game on offense. I understand they've had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. Now, I think this is their offensive get-back game, regardless of the injuries. Is it going to be Hassan Haskins in the backfield? Is it going to be Vital in the backfield? I don't know. But you got Najee Harris and Amarian Hampton both on the IR for 4 games. Minimum for Hampton. Harris maybe back now in 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it is. This just feels like a spot where the Chargers offense and the Herbert-led offense maybe put some things together that they've really been needing to over the past 2 weeks. So I'm not saying that they're going to go out there and score 20. But I am saying this offense gets clicking. And so I like McConkey, who finally found the end zone last week. I like McConkey to score here. I like him in fantasy this week against a Dolphins team that has given up a solid amount of fantasy points to opposing offenses this year, to say the least. I like him to score. I like Herbert to play well. Dolphins have given up 9 receiving touchdowns this season, which is bottom 10 in the NFL. The Dolphins, they just might be flat out dead after last week's L, getting up to the early lead, allowing the Panthers to just climb back. Simply put, I like the Chargers offense to find a little bit of rhythm. Again, I'm not saying they smoke the Dolphins. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that offense clicks here. Even with their injuries, I think they find a little bit of rhythm. And it starts with Ladd McConkey. I like McConkey here. I'll probably pick him in DFS. And give me the Chargers to win this game and to find some shred on offense with the Herbert-led team. Give me Harbaugh, give me Herbert to pick it up here a bit. It's a great spot for it. Give me the Chargers to move to 4-2. The Dolphins are sadly just lifeless. And McDaniel, come to Houston. Maybe be our OC next year. Just floating that out there. We keep on moving here on the Swank Tank. Again, I really appreciate you tuning in and listening. Make sure to just hit that subscribe button or follow button if you're on YouTube or Spotify. Just hit one of those two, whichever platform you're on. It'd be greatly appreciated. We move on. The 3-2 New England Patriots coming off their biggest win of the season against the Bills on Sunday Night Football last week. Traveling to take on the Saints, who also got a big win last week against the New York Giants. Saints are 1-4, Patriots 3-2. So far with this noon slate, we're being tested. It feels like we're really being tested. Each one of these games has upset potential, right? It's not some horrible team versus great team. This is maybe kind of closer to that. But all of them feel like they have a little bit of upset potential. Lots of possible upset spots this week. Except so far, I'm not falling for any of the noise or any of the trickery. And I'm not going to do it here as well. I like the Patriots to get this done. Their defense has been playing at an elite level the past 3 weeks. Even against the Steelers, in a game they lost, their defense played very well. Last week against Buffalo, won the turnover battle, played really clean. They made Josh Allen become the Bills' leading rusher, held James Cook to, I believe, under 60 yards rushing. That New England and Mike Vrabel-led defense has been playing really solid, especially in the running game. The Saints with Kamara, if they can't run the ball, what's going to happen? So let me lay out this scenario for you. The Saints can't run the ball against a strong New England rushing defense. Let's say the Saints get down 10-0. They can't run the ball. That makes them absolutely and completely one-dimensional. Do you think Spencer Rattler is capable against a also Patriots secondary with Christian Gonzalez back last week that looked very strong? Throw that in there as well. Can Spencer Rattler win this game for the New Orleans Saints? Can Spencer Rattler, if down 10 plus, himself win this game? The answer is no. The answer is no. What happened last week? Saints defense played great. They caused 5 straight turnovers against the Giants. 5 drives in a row. They caused a turnover against the Giants. One of them went to the crib for a tutty. Kudos to the Saints defense, right? They've actually looked somewhat solid this season, all things considered. If the Saints get down, can I see Spencer Rattler alone himself being able to win a football game? At this moment in time, no. That's the big reason here. They're going to make the Saints be one-dimensional, as the Patriots' rushing defense has been great. And of the Patriots' defense, the Patriots have played 5 games. Of all teams that have played 5 games, they've given up the least rushing yards in the NFL. That's how strong their rushing defense has been. The Saints are going to have to pass the football here. And while Rattler hasn't been bad, he can't win you the game all by himself. Give me Drake May. Give me New England to get the win. Just take him to win. Don't overthink it. Oh, wow, the Blue Jays to my right here, by the way. Slight MLB injection here. Blue Jays just eliminated the Yankees. The Yankees lose. Give me New England. Give me the Patriots here on the road in New Orleans. Don't overthink this one. Yes, this could be a, quote, upset spot. Give me the Patriots here to get it done. We rotate straight into the Cleveland Browns, who are 1-4, traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers, coming off the bye, who are 3-1. Classic AFC North battle here, in my opinion. And what does that mean, Swank? So in previous episodes, I've mentioned several times, the AFC North, the games where an AFC North team plays an AFC North team, there's always 2 ways it goes. 1, high scoring as hell, kind of a blowout. 2, unbelievably low scoring and an unbelievably close game. That's how the AFC North rolls when they play each other. Well, Swank, which one will this be? Will it be option 1, kind of blowout, high scoring? Will this be option 2, kind of low scoring, gritty, grimy, dirty AFC North football that comes down to the wire? My answer for you is not option 2. It's option 1. I like the Steelers here big. I like them big. And big reason for that, Mike Tomlin, off the bye in his career, is 15-3 all time. Take that for what you will. That's a big stat. Mike Tomlin being the veteran leader that he is of the Steelers team. 3-1 Steelers. The AFC North first place Steelers. First place by a solid bit at the moment. Through 5 weeks. 3-1 coming off the bye. Tomlin is the main reason I'm choosing the Steelers here. Another big reason is that the Browns are starting Dylan Gabriel, who played fine last week. His second start, his first true road start, his first AFC North start, his first road AFC North start, his playing a team that's coming off the bye start in the Pittsburgh Steelers, going up against TJ Watt, Mike Tomlin, again, 15-3 all time off the bye. I like the Steelers here big. Look, Gabriel played well last week. I respect that. But Steelers at home, off the bye. Joey Porter Jr. supposed to be back. Jaylen Warren probably back. I like the Steelers here comfortably. I like TJ Watt to get to the quarterback. Steelers at home, under Mike Tomlin, off the bye. It's pretty simple. Joe Flacco's not there anymore. Is Shedeur quarterback too? Oh my God, everybody's freaking out. I mean, who really cares about that? I know the AFC North can be tough to predict, especially when they play each other. Give me the Steelers here big. Tomlin off the bye. Rodgers off of rest. Steelers at home. Easy. We keep this train rolling. Here we go. We keep it rolling. Here we go. The Cowboys. Again, I have to throw that in there every time I predict the Cowboys. And you know what? I think in future episodes, I'm just going to start injecting it in random spots. So maybe I'll be halfway through my Cowboys, Panthers or Cowboys, whoever they're playing, prediction, and I'll just have to randomly throw it in. Here we go. Just like that. Did I catch you off guard? I probably caught you off guard. The 2-1 Dallas Cowboys traveling to the 2-3 Carolina Panthers, coming off a comeback win. Carolina Panthers. Cowboys coming off a big, dominating win against the New York Jets. My first two words here for this game is, oh Lord. For me, this is the game of the weekend that I would like to think I'm predicting well, except I have really no clue how this game's going to go. I mean, what is this game? If you're listening, please comment what this game is going to turn out to be, because I really don't know. I don't. I like to think I do, and I don't fully feel confident that I do. It feels very unpredictable, as the Panthers are completely unpredictable all season. One week, they win 30-0 against the Atlanta Falcons. The next week, they get the absolute doors blown off them by the New England Patriots. Last week, you get a Panthers team that looked like absolute trash in the first half. The second week, you get the Panthers team that we saw the last 6 weeks of the NFL season in 2024. What Panthers team are we going to see this coming Sunday? That's what makes this game so hard to predict. And I'm going to keep the favorite streak alive here. So far, I believe I've picked every favorite. It's just who I'm feeling. I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. You don't got to overthink some things sometimes. Don't got to fall for that fallacy, the game of fallacy sometimes. I'm going with the Cowboys here. I'm sticking with the favorites. I'm going to go with Dallas. The main reason, because of what I saw from Dallas's defense last week. On the road in New York against a dynamic Jets offense in Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. They played really, really well. They were honestly pretty smothering for 3.5 quarters. And then garbage time, Jets got some points. They were sacking the ball. They were sacking the Jets. They were stopping the Jets on third down. They were flying, honestly, all over the field. And ironically, flying against the Jets. The Dallas defense did enough last week to make me relatively confident in them this week at Carolina. And they looked competent for once this season. So that's why I'm picking Cowboys here. And that Panthers defense on the flip side overall has been pretty poor this season outside of that Falcons game. This game overall just feels like a loose cannon, really. And I just got to take Dallas. Even though I wouldn't be shocked here, if the Panthers upset happens. Again, what Carolina Panthers team are we getting? Meow Mix. We need to bring them back. The Panthers need to start winning so Meow Mix comes back fully out of retirement. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and look that up. I'm going to take Dallas. Just because of how their defense played last week, it gives me a little bit more promise. And if you really think about it, if it comes down to an absolute offensive brawl, right? Neither defense can stop the wind. Who do you trust more? The answer is simple. It's Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Give me Dallas here to move to 3-2-1. Give me the Panthers to fall to 2-4. Give me Dak. Here we go. Give me Dak to win this game. Moving forward, one of the best games of the weekend, especially of the noon slate. Best game of the noon slate here. The 3-2 Seattle Seahawks traveling to take on the 4-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. Best game of the noon slate here, and a very tough one to predict. Straight off the bat here, I'm going to give you my winner. It's the Seattle Seahawks. This is my first upset of the weekend. I believe the Jags are favored by 1.5. I'm going to take Seattle here to get an upset and bounce back. They ended the Bucs game, so on an interception, right? That's how they lost the game. Darnold gets the ball back. They're tied. Hits the helmet of a defensive lineman. I'm blanking a little bit on who that was exactly, but hits the helmet, picked off. Bucs win the game. McLaughlin for the win. Game over, right? Before that interception, what did the Seattle Seahawks do? They scored 5 straight touchdowns against the Buccaneers. 5 straight before that interception. I mean, they were rolling. JSN, Darnold, they were getting Barner out of nowhere. They were getting whatever they wanted. You could say kind of the same thing about the Bucs offense, but this is the Seahawks going into Jacksonville, so we're going to focus on them here, obviously. Seattle's offense was humming before that interception. Unfortunate pick, a kind of a classic Sam Darnold pick. But that's the main reason I like Seattle here, is that offensive momentum, I think, carries over. And so for the Jags, I think they'll be coming off that high and, coming off a little bit more of a shorter week. Again, playing on Monday Night Football, they're on cloud 9, as they should be. Biggest win for them in the last 2 seasons. You just beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and you did it in a major way, in a surprising and fun way. The Jaguars and the Jaguars fans are on cloud 9. Couldn't be going better until Seattle walks into your building this weekend and beats you, I have Seattle here. Outside of that pick six, again, or not the pick six, excuse me, outside of that pick from Darnold, that offense was just getting whatever they wanted. And I like that to continue here. I think they continue that momentum they had into this week here in week 6. Jaguars on defense. Outside of that pick 6 from Devin Lloyd, the defense wasn't quite as sturdy as we've seen in weeks past. The Chiefs were able to move the ball. The Chiefs' run game obviously was still not there. That's more on the Chiefs' offense than it was the Jags' defense. But credit to the Jaguars' defense. I mean, they have the most turnovers in the NFL created, and they've been flying all over the field. They've been coming up clutch. Their run defense has been pretty solid all year long. Kudos and credit goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That being said, I like Seattle here. I really just do. And that Seattle defense got exposed last week. I expect them to play better. They have an easier matchup against Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, who haven't really still fully clicked yet, in my personal opinion. That's why I like Seattle. Two main reasons. One, offensive momentum continues over. Two, that defensive matchup they have this week for the Seahawks defense against that Jaguars offense, a lot better than what they had against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs last week. Give me Seattle here. I need to see Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., and Lawrence click more for me to continuously be confident in the Jags. I think they're a little bit, riding that high. I think they come out maybe a little slow. If they do, Seattle's going to catch them. Give me the Seahawks here to get the W. All right, moving into the last few noon game slates of the weekend. We're going to keep this one pretty quick. The 3-2 LA Rams traveling to the 1-4 Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens to get absolutely smothered and smoked and fried in this game. That is what I am taking in this game. Lamar Jackson didn't practice on Wednesday, and this team is so badly wanting to get to the bye week. They wanted to beat Houston so they could fall to the Rams and go into the bye with not quite as bad as a record. 1-5 is a lot different than 2-4. This is going to be ugly. This is going to be ugly. I don't care which way you want to spin it. Oh, Ravens got smoked last week. They're at home. They got to be playing better this week. No, they don't. How, in what way could you possibly speculate and be able to back it up that the Ravens will compete in this game? If Lamar Jackson was going to play. He didn't practice Wednesday. Guys, he's not playing in this game. If he does, it would very much surprise me because of their bye week being next week. They're not going to rush him back. This is a blowout. This is a blowout spot. And I expected the Rams last week to get it done against a beaten up 49ers team. They didn't do it. They really let me down, let the league down, let themselves down. Fumbles when they, couldn't have it happen in fourth down conversions they needed to get and couldn't get. And uncharacteristic Rams loss. I'll say that. And this Ravens team is still beaten up. Lamar didn't practice Wednesday. I don't think he's going to play. Humphrey didn't practice. Roquan Smith didn't practice. Ricard didn't practice on Wednesday. It's a big sign that they're probably not going to play Sunday. If that all remains true, this is a freaking blowout. Rams minus 7.5 all day long. Do you hear it? Do you hear that? Cha-ching, cha-ching. I hear it. It's blowing through my window. It's every which way. It's circling in the wind all around me. Takes minus 7.5. Bet on me, minus 7.5. I'm doing it. I mean, I'm previewing my Swanks Banks right here. One of my favorite bets of the weekend is Rams minus 7.5. The Rams need to bounce back. They will bounce back. Puka Nacua should have a great game here. Take Kyron Williams to score. I will be having the Rams in DFS for sure. Don't overthink this one, especially if Lamar Jackson is ruled out. I don't think he's going to play. Give me the Rams. That's all I got here. Give me the Rams. We move right along. The Tennessee Titans, the 1-4 Tennessee Titans. Big win last week against the Cardinals. Absolute meltdown from Arizona last week. Traveling to take on the Las Vegas Raiders, 1-4, who are in a dire need for a win. If there's any team in the NFL right now that needs a win the most, there's 3. Ravens, Raiders, and Chargers. Those would probably be my 3. The Raiders need to win so bad. They need it so bad. And what I've been saying every episode and all season long, the Raiders can be a competitive team. They can be a competitive team. But I knew they would not be winning games. You can go back to week 1, and I said this exact same thing. They're not going to be winning games. They can compete, but they can't win. This needs to be a week where that changes. They need a W badly in their own building against probably the worst, maybe not second worst team in the NFL in the Tennessee Titans. The Raiders need a big bounce back win. And I have them getting that here. I'm going to take the Raiders, and here's why. Ashton Genty, the Michael Myers stand-up stance, Ashton Genty, will be in full effect in this game. Buckle up, Genty, for minimum 25 touches. That's through the air, that's on the ground. Give me the Raiders here purely because they should be able to run the football against this Titans team. And really, the Raiders haven't been able to run on anybody all year except a little bit of the Bears. The Bears have one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. The Raiders' O-line is a big part to their failure this season. Geno Smith turning the ball over is a big part to their failure this season. The one bright spot the Raiders have had this year is Ashton Genty. Brock Bowers also this week has not been practicing. You take away their best player, where do the targets go? Let me back up one step. You take away their best player, right? Then you see how Geno Smith's been playing. Turnover city. Just continuously is getting picked off, turning the ball over. What is Pete Carroll going to do? One, he realizes that this Titans defense is pretty lackluster in the running game, allowing a good amount of rush yards, good amount of rushing touchdowns on the season. You feed Ashton Genty when your number one receiver and Brock Bowers is out, going up against a Titans run defense that is not very good. You feed this guy. This is my lock for DFS. I am taking Ashton Genty in all of my DFS lineups. If you have Ashton Genty in fantasy, buckle up for a big week from him. The volume is just going to be crazy. I mean, he could have 70 yards with 2 touchdowns in 6-7 catches. Oh boy, I see what I did there. Buckle up. I love Genty this week. He's in a great spot. That's purely why I'm taking the Raiders here. That Titans momentum that they garnered last week, I think slips away real fast here. The Fire Callahan streak will continue. I've been saying this even now. I've been saying this since week 2, really even week 1. I think those conversations will turn as the Titans lose this game. Big thing to watch outside of, I think, Genty's big game. Geno Smith. Watch Geno here. If he performs poorly, there's a chance he gets benched. There's a chance he gets traded. There's a chance he gets cut. If he struggles, we'll save that conversation for next week. If he struggles, we'll save that for next week. I also like the over in this game. Not a lot of defense is going to be going on. Give me Genty to play well. Give me the Raiders to win. I like the over. Raiders figure out a way to get the dub, mainly through Ashton Genty. Continuing forward here, the 2-3 Cincinnati Bengals are traveling to take on the 2-1-1 Green Bay Packers. Do you want to take a guess what the line is for this game? Green Bay at home off the bye against the Joe Flacco-led 2-3 Cincinnati Bengals. Take a guess what the line of this game is. Did you guess 14.5? I would not have. I probably would have guessed 9, 10.5 max. 14.5 points in the NFL against a Bengals team that, has looked really bad the past 3 weeks, ever since Joe Burrow went out, really. I get that, but 14.5 freaking points is insane. The answer here is Green Bay. If you want my winner, it's Green Bay. Simple. But I will note this. Off the bye week, Green Bay and Matt LaFleur, he's 3-3. He is only 3-3 off a bye in the regular season with a minus 31 point differential. There's been several games off the bye week in the regular season for Green Bay and Matt LaFleur where they've come off the bye and gotten blown out, smoked, destroyed. I'm taking Green Bay to win here. I am by no means saying that they'll lose. I am by no means saying that they're going to get blown out. I would never say that in this spot. The answer is Green Bay to win. But I do like Cincinnati to cover. Green Bay's going to win this game because, yes, they're more rested, and with Flacco only being there for 5 days, this should be relatively ugly, all-encompassing. But Chase got going a bit last week, which was positive, and 14.5 points is just too much for me to stay away from. I'm going to take Bengals plus 14.5. I'm going to take Green Bay money line. I like Micah Parsons in that pass rush to get home and provide pressure to Joe Flacco, who's probably going to look a little flustered here, given he's not even been in Cincinnati a week. I mean, Packers pass rush should get home. Packers offense through the air, through Jordan Love, should have success. Jacobs, we'll see, against a tough, rushing defense with the Browns. Take Green Bay to win here. Obviously, I'm going to take the Bengals to cover. That's what I've got. Green Bay here. But biggest note there again, off the bye, LaFleur has struggled in times. Keep that in mind. When you're looking at the point spread, just keep that in mind. Give me Green Bay to win. Give me the Bengals to cover. Maybe shifting gears here into the best game of the weekend. The 4-1 49ers traveling to the 4-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Game of the weekend. I'm just going to say it. It's game of the weekend for me. But here's the thing. Purdy, Pearsall, Jennings all did not practice on Wednesday for the 49ers. For that reason, I'm going to flat out say it. I'm taking the Bucs. And man, oh man, if Mac Jones finds a way to pull this off, I'm assuming it's going to be Mac. If it's Purdy, maybe things differ here. But I'm assuming it's going to be Mac, and I'm assuming there's not going to be Pearsall. I'm assuming there's not going to be Jennings. Kittle is still out. If Mac Jones finds a freaking way to win this game, next week's episode is going to be damn interesting when we're talking about the 49ers. That being said, I'm going to take the Bucs here. I understand and absolutely respect what Mac Jones, what I'm calling Mac Attack, did last week against the Rams. Unlimited amount of respect and credit given to him. I just can't pick them here in this spot to do it against a Buccaneers team that is full throttle, all gas, no brakes on the offensive side of the football. And I think the injuries here are just going to be a little bit too much for the Niners. And I said that last week, and I was wrong. I'm saying it again this week, anticipating I'll be right. Buccaneers at home, offense is firing on all cylinders. I just got to take the Bucs. This could be a very close game. I get that. But I just got to take the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield here with Egbuka, Godwin back. And I know Bucky Irving, I don't think is expected to play here. That's big. I get that. Mike Evans is going to be out here too. So both these teams dinged up on the offensive side of the football. Very much so. But I'm going to take the Bucs just because of how dynamic they've been this season. And so I like this game to be pretty close, but I think at the end of this game, the Bucs pull away late. Predicting this to me is covering your eyes, spinning you around 15, 20 times, being unbelievably dizzy, and throwing a dart on a dartboard. That's kind of what this game feels like to me. But my dart hit a Bucs win here, and my dart hit a Bucs late kind of pull away win in this game. I trust Baker more than I trust Mac Jones. That's really what it boils down to. Bucs at home, I'm going to take the Bucs. The 49ers could win this game. The 49ers could keep this game close, 100%. Personal opinion, though. I think the Bucs pull away late. Give me the Buccaneers to get it done at home. Shifting into Sunday Night Football now. We've only got 3 games left to break down for Week 6. Hope you've been enjoying the episode so far. Make sure to like and subscribe, as always, on YouTube, Spotify, all the socials and whatnot. Really hope you're enjoying this Week 6 episode as we move into Sunday Night Football. The 4-1 Detroit Lions traveling to take on the 2-3 Kansas City Chiefs. First thing to note here, Kansas City's favored by 2.5? I got to be honest, I'm kind of shocked that they're favored. Let me rephrase. I'm not kind of shocked. I am shocked that the Kansas City Chiefs here are favored, 100%. And yeah, I'm going to take the Lions here. And the fact that I get to call this game an upset with the Lions winning is crazy to me. I don't know why the Chiefs are favored. I get it. It's prime time. Yeah, I get it. They're at home. I get it. People are going to be placing money on them because it's going to be a bounce back after the loss to the Jags. Give me the Lions to, quote, upset the Chiefs here. I'm not falling for that gambler fallacy here. And why is that? Because the Chiefs cannot run the football. Pure inability to run the ball. Mahomes last week against the Jags led the Chiefs, like I mentioned earlier in the show, again in rushing yards. It's flat out unacceptable. It boils down to the offensive line struggles. I get it. But you have to be able to run the football in this league in order to succeed. You have to. And the Chiefs know that. Andy Reid knows that. Patrick Mahomes knows that. Right now, they haven't been able to figure that out. I think when they get Rashee Rice back, and I believe that's now next week, maybe things open up more. You can get more dynamic. Worthy has been in and out of the lineup, still injured. Maybe haven't been able to fully open the playbook up. If you can push the ball downfield and expand your passing game with Rashee Rice in the coming weeks, maybe that expands the running game. Maybe they take less guys out of the box. I get that. But the Chiefs' flat-out inability to run the ball is why I'm taking the Lions here. Lions are top 10 in rush defense this season, giving up only 461 rush yards and 4 rushing touchdowns in 5 games. That, compared with the Chiefs' complete lack to run the football, makes a very bad matchup for Kansas City in this game. That is my big point here. That is the main reason I'm taking the Lions. The Chiefs, while their offensive line has struggled in the run game, they've actually been really solid in the pass game. They have not given up many sacks this season at all. And the Lions are missing defensive pieces, especially in the secondary. So here's what I like. I like Mahomes to play really well in this game. Worthy should be fully healthy. You obviously got Kelsey. You got Juju. You got Hollywood Brown. You got Hunt and Smith now, who they're starting to use more, the rookie, in that passing game. I like Mahomes here to play well, especially because the Lions at times are capable of giving up a lot of points. And with that secondary with DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold out, are going to be a little bit vulnerable. Mahomes at home, I like him to perform a lot. If I'm betting props, I like Mahomes over on a lot of his props. Let me set the record straight there. I like this game to be high scoring. I like Mahomes to play well. I like Goff to play well. Yet the Chiefs' inability to run the football will eventually truly beat them in a game. And in this game, I think that's what happens. Lions' run defense has been strong. Chiefs can't run the ball. I'm now repeating myself, but that's what the motif is of this game. Give me this to be high scoring. Give me Mahomes to play well. Give me Goff to play well. Give me Mahomes to play really well. But they can't run the ball. And that's what's going to bite them in the butt. Give me the Lions, air quotes here, to get the upset against Kansas City and move to 5-1. Going straight into the Monday Night Football doubleheader. Can we stop this? Can we stop getting doubleheaders on Monday Night Football now? I mean, we're in frickin' week 6. Nobody wants Monday Night Football doubleheaders. Does anybody want this? Go ahead and raise your hand if you do. I don't know who's asking for it. It's not me. I don't think anybody is. Just get rid of the Monday Night Football doubleheaders. It's too much. Throw this in the 3 o'clock window. Why not? Put it anywhere. Stop doing the Monday Night Football doubleheaders. People don't have time to watch both these games, and then they overlap. Maybe a boomer take, but that's my take. The 4-1 Buffalo Bills traveling to the Falcons 2-2. Falcons coming off the bye. Here's the deal. Bills coming off a huge loss, right? I say huge. It's the NFL, and it's New England, who's a solid team. Buffalo was bound to drop a game eventually. Bills coming off that loss. And with the Falcons are a different team week in and week out. And they're coming off a bye, which makes this a little bit more interesting. And, I just got to do it. I'm going to go with Buffalo to lose this game. I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football in Atlanta to beat Josh Allen and the Bills. And this is going to be a very unpopular opinion because you have the Bills losing last week. You think Josh Allen's not going to lose back-to-back games. That's valid. I get that. Totally fair. And I think almost all of America would probably agree with you. But screw it. We're picking the freaking Falcons here off the bye at home Monday Night Football to get the dub. It's the first true road test for the Bills. They've had a cakewalk of a schedule so far. Then they go and play New England, who's got a strong rushing defense. Keep that in mind here. New England had a very strong rushing defense. What happened? They held Josh Allen and Cook to pretty low rushing yards. They caused multiple turnovers. They won the game. First true road test for the Bills in prime time in Atlanta. They could absolutely drop this game, and it feels like nobody expects it at all. The Falcons, they need to win the turnover battle to win this game. And that's a hard thing to do when Michael Penix is your quarterback, who is pretty turnover prone, especially in the interception game. In that category, we all know Penix loves feeding a little interception or two to some defenses. Here, feast on up. I know that. Penix has to play clean. Off the bye, they've had 2 weeks to prep. I think he can, and I think he does for the most part. If he has one pick, the Falcons can win this game. If he has 2 or more, they can't win this game. They have to win the turnover battle. And you're not going to cause 4+ turnovers against the Bills. If you do, kudos. That would be crazy. Penix has to play clean. The Falcons probably are getting A.J. Terrell back here, which is big. Here's the biggest thing. The Falcons, in their 4 games, have only given up 2 rushing touchdowns this season. The Bills' bread and butter is what? They love to run the rock. With Josh Allen, with Cook, maybe a little jet sweep here and there to Shakir. The Bills want to run they want to run the football. It starts with Cook, then they involve Allen. That's their bread and butter. Allen in scrambling, Allen purely in the run game, and keepers, it all starts with Cook. It boils down to Allen being able to scramble and run the football effectively. The Falcons have a pretty strong rushing defense, similar to the Patriots. Again, I've only given up 2 rushing touchdowns this season in 4 games. Give me the Falcons to win this game. Am I uber confident in it? No, I am not. But I need a big upset this week. And it happens every week, especially this season in the NFL. An unexpected win. Give me the Falcons to do it. Give me Atlanta. We move on to the last game of the slate here. The 2-2 coming off the bye. Chicago Bears at the 3-2 Washington Commanders. And off the bat, I'm just going to say I like the Commanders here. No smoke and mirrors, no games on this one, no big upset. I like the Commanders here to get it done. I called them last week to get it done against the Chargers. They did. Daniels off the injury looked comfortable. That defense, after a kind of shaky-ish start, really turned it around. And the Chargers, again, kind of shot themselves in the foot that game. But the Commanders took over, and they finally got JCM fully involved. He's a talented player. He signed with Nike this week, by the way. A little sponsorship for JCM. I like the Commanders here as they've seemingly found an offensive rhythm. McLaurin could play here. I think he's on pace to. If he does and plays this full game, that's another big piece that they've been missing, and it's another big reason why I like the Commanders here. If he does play, I like the Commanders even more. The Bears are rested. I get that, but on the road, this would be tough for them. Don't let the Hail Mary revenge play into your pick here. Remember Stevenson, remember Noah Brown, remember Jane Daniels last year with a crazy Hail Mary to get the win against Chicago in Washington. I get that. Don't let that play a part in deciding this game for you. Don't let that make your decision. That should not make or break who you're picking in this game. So avoid the Hail Mary narrative here. The Bears defense, outside of the Cowboys game, has really not been very solid. I like JCM to play well. Give me Daniels to play smooth and comfortable. Hopefully McLaurin's available for them. And in me picking the Commanders, give me the Commanders here to get it done without too much sweat to wrap up the Week 6 slate. That's all I've got for Week 6. I got the Commanders winning that game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my Week 6 preview, analysis, and predictions. Let me know what you think I messed up. Obviously, there was a chance we go 15-0. 15 games this week. There's a chance. Why not? Why not this week? It very much could be. Only have a few upsets, but they're pretty big ones, especially the Bills being upset. Let me know what you think of my picks, of my predictions for this week. With that being said, we move straight into our last segment of Swank's Banks. We moved to 15-15 on the season. We went 3-3 last week in week 5 of my Swanks Banks. Swanks Banks is my 6 best bets every single week of the NFL season. We're flat out mid. We are as mid as it can freaking get. We are 500. We are 15-15 on the season through week 5. It's going to change this week. I know it. I'm loving my bets this week. Number 1, and it's my Swank Tank. The thing is, it's sad because my Swank Tank, which is my favorite bet of all of them, is 1-4 on the season. That's unacceptable. But again, we're 500 overall, so we're basically even on the year. My Swank Tank is actually my first pick, and it's Steelers minus 5.5. I touched on earlier how Tomlin off the bye is super trustworthy. You got Rodgers off a week of rest. You get Dylan Gabriel coming in his first true road start in the AFC North, and in Pittsburgh off the bye, I like Pittsburgh here by at least a touchdown. Minus 5.5 seems really free. I like this to be my best bet and favorite bet of the weekend. Steelers minus 5.5, lock. Pure lock, lock it in. Number 2, Seahawks money line. I think they get the upset in Jacksonville. I'm not a huge fan of this bet. I do believe, though, Seattle can get it done. So I threw it in here. Seahawks money line's number 2. Number 3, Rams minus 7.5. And if I didn't love Steelers minus 5.5, I would have taken Rams minus 7.5 here to be my favorite bet of the weekend. It's a blowout spot. And I always, every week, I have one big, quote, blowout spot. Last week I was wrong on it. The week before I was right about it. This is a blowout spot, especially if Lamar Jackson doesn't suit up, which I don't think he will. Give me Rams to bounce back in a big way. Give me them minus 7.5. My bet number 4 of the weekend. I'm taking Raiders money line. I touched on earlier how Ashton Genty is going to play a huge role in the Raiders win this week, if they do win. Take Genty in DFS. Obviously start him in fantasy. Of course you're going to, but make sure he's in there. Give me the Raiders to get it done against Tennessee. Number 5, I'm taking Bengals plus 14.5. I'm not uber confident in this one, but I will say, if you're plus 14.5 in the NFL, you take it. You take it. That's plain and simple. And Green Bay off the bye in years past under LaFleur has underperformed a solid amount. Taking that and taking plus 14.5 points in the NFL, I have to take the Bengals to cover. Give me Bengals plus 14.5 here. Last bet of the weekend, I'm taking Commanders money line. I like them on Monday Night Football. I feel really solid about where the Commanders' offense is standing, especially against a Bears defense that has looked lackluster at times, especially in the run game this season. Give me JCM to play well. Give me Daniels to play smooth. Give me the Commanders to get the dub. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my favorite, my Swank Spanks, my favorite 6 bets of the Week 6 NFL slate. Let's see if we can get off the streak of mid, get away from the 15-15. Maybe we can go 6-0. Why not us? Why not Week 6 and why not us? And that's going to do it for us from the Swank Tank here. Really appreciate you tuning in if you made it all the way to hear my Swank Spanks and to wrap up the episode. Appreciate you tuning in as always. Really hope you enjoy your Week 6. If you're listening to this on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even Sunday, whenever this is, I really hope you know I really do appreciate you. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Week 6 slate. Win some money. Win your DFS matchups. Win your fantasy matchups. Whatever you're participating and partaking in surrounding the NFL, I hope you win it. I hope you do it. Enjoy your Week 6. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We will see you Monday night for episode, I believe that would be 15, if I'm not mistaken. Tune in then. But for now, enjoy your weekend and good luck to you in all of your NFL endeavors. Have a good one.